Right, just catch you up on the weekend. I've been to the River Soar for the Sensas Challenge Final. Now, those of you that were on the final will know I'd be lying if I said it was a brilliant fishing match. Probably one of the worst fishing matches I've been in, if I'm being honest. I really felt sorry for the organisers because they're trying to do. I absolutely, totally respect what they're trying to do with the competition. They really wanted to put it on a river. Last year we went on the Great Ouse and we had 28 teams, which is the most teams we've ever had for that event. This year there was 28 teams booked on again because it was on a river, and I'm sure that's the reason that rivers have been tried the last couple of years, because everybody's keen to fish a river. I think the biggest problem is February, March time, the water's running very cold. It's going to have a lot of salt water in it from the roads. There's all sorts of stuff running through the system, and there's no lack of fish at all. I just think that the fish really don't want to feed. I mean, when you're sat there fishing, you would swear that there isn't any fish in the river. But just to give you a couple of examples, one area I know on Thursday and Friday there was loads of bream caught, probably over £100 of bream caught in 2 days, Thursday and Friday, between sort of 6 or 7 anglers in one particular section. Well, in the match there wasn't a single bream caught, so to me that shows that there can be fish there and not feeding. It's the same with A section where I drew on the second day. On the first day there'd been several chub caught. There'd also been a couple of chub caught on the Friday practice. However, Sunday, not a single chub to be seen, with many anglers fishing for them as well. So again, they haven't gone anywhere. They're still there. They just don't want to feed, and I think that is the biggest problem with having a river at this time of year. So, I did really feel sorry. Especially felt sorry for Joff, who usually runs matches on the river and did work tirelessly to try and sort everything out. I appreciate. I mean, Mark Downs runs the event, and he's done a great job organising it. But it's just an absolute shame that the river's fished so poorly. But maybe they'll find something a little bit better next year, and we'll all be going. Because I think what inspires me the most about the competition is Thursday and Friday. There's over 80 people practicing for the weekend. There is no other competition in the UK that sees that amount of anglers practicing just before the match. Even national championships doesn't see that sort of amount of anglers practicing, right up until the day of the match. So I just think it's brilliant to see the enthusiasm from so many different teams. And I know when they do complain, some people say team fishing is dying. Well, that's evidence that it's not, because there's so many people wanting to be there and practice. It's just an absolute crying shame that it had to fish so hard. I mean, all I would say is I think it's everybody involved in team fishing and who loves team fishing owes it to team fishing to give it another go again next year, and I'm sure that we'll be going somewhere where there's a few fish to catch. So I look forward to that already. On the team front, so let's talk about it. I mean, we've actually managed to win the event. I've never won this event before as a team. So to win with Barnsley was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love all my team members. We have a real great connection, and we're talking about the fishing, and we can be blunt when we need to be blunt, and just try and iron out some of the facts, and it's working really well at the moment. Obviously had a fantastic year last year. I'd say this is definitely the first big competition of 2015. It's something that we hadn't won in the past, although we had qualified for France for the last 2 years by coming in the top 3, and we've won the event. So out of the 26 teams that ended up fishing, absolutely delighted to, absolutely really pleased to win the event. Starlets came second. They've had only 1.5 points more than us, so incredibly close. Both teams have had a blank over the 2 days. And I know Starlets were very close to having 2 blanks. Sean Ashby catching a small perch with 15-20 minutes to go on the second day. So that does show how hard it was. I did, Barnsley and Starlets are often seen, probably along with Dorking, as 3 of the stronger teams. I don't think that's any secret. So when 2 of us were the top 2, it proves that we must be complete drawbags, because I find it very difficult to sit here and say that there was a method, but I do have I am a big believer in you stack all the odds in your favour, and you might get lucky, and that's what's happened to us over the 2 days. We've had some great performances. Matt Godfrey has had 1 skimmer first day, first chuck. He's caught a small roach later on in the day, but he's 1 skimmer, has 1 in the section. But everything was ready for it. He's cupped his bait in nice, he's given himself a tight area, and when it's gone under, he's made the most of it. On the second day, he's drawn a fantastic end peg, where one of our other team members had caught and won the section the day before. And Matt's one of the best anglers in the UK, in my opinion, and when you give him a peg like that, he was always going to be incredibly difficult to beat, and so he proved, catching 5 kilos of roach. That was probably the area that he needed to draw to catch a big weight, because he finished with 2 points to win the event individually from Kaylee Smith, who caught 2 massive perch both days, 2 big perch both days to win her section both days and come second. And I've had a fantastic weekend myself, coming 3rd individual. First day I drew in the boat section where there was a few fish to be caught. Where I drew, I was on permanent peg 54, for those who know it. I was told it wasn't the best. I was told that it could be a bit better further up, but I had a little bit of room below me, and I think that obviously I must have had the tactics half right, because I've caught 2 kilos 230. I had 3 nice skimmers and 50 other small fish just to boost the weight up. So absolutely delighted to win the section. So a great start. 1 point for the team's always a great result. And then on the second day, I drew the top end of A section, which was incredibly difficult. There'd been big perch caught on peg 2, and some 2 or 3 small perch on peg 1, and then a few very, very tiny roach all the way along, and then the bottom half of the section was complete blanks. That's how difficult it was. I had about 15 small roach going into the last 20 minutes of the match. All day I'd focused a lot of efforts on trying to catch 1 decent fish. I knew 1 decent fish would put me top 3 in the section. I'd set a couple of traps for them, and just by alternating and working hard, I got the little bit of luck that I needed. With about 15 minutes to go, I've had a perch on my lobby line. I had very, very strong tackle on to make sure that I landed anything that I hooked, and I got it out, and I've ended up weighing 900 grams, so the perch was at least 1.5 pounds to put me second in the section. So first and a second was a great point score for the team. We ended up winning by 1.5 points, so that fish has swung it. Also, Alan Scotland's caught 3 small perch in an area full of blanks. That performance has potentially won it for us. Lots of little performances throughout the team, but my 1 and a 2 meant I finished 3rd individual, which I'm very proud of, to be honest, because in the last 4 years I've managed to win the event twice individually and come 3rd this year. So I really am, something to be proud of. Which I think if you get a run of results in anything, then it's right to feel like that, because you put a lot of hard work in. No doubt, drawn some good pegs and had the rub of the green along the way, but still a nice result to have. So absolutely delighted. It was one of those where on Friday night I could easily foresee 2 days of blanking. I know there's a lot of anglers that blank 2 days, and I have no doubt that there's nothing they could do about it. I mean, often there was blanks you know, lots of blanks in a row. Did seem to me like there was odd anglers who managed to figure a few things out. Gary Barkley caught 4 small roach in a section where there was nothing but blanks by fishing light rigs through the water. I felt that was a good performance because he did something different there to try and generate a bite, and he got those bites that caught him the fish. I think from a team point of view, if you could avoid the blanks like that, you know, it was always going to play a massive part, and that's what we tried to do. We kept our bait in, kept everything nice and tight, and just tried to focus our 4 hours, as much time in the water as possible, really, with the right baits, just trying to find a fish, and then you're stacking the odds in your favour of catching one. So you know, I'm going to have to say it's paid off, because we've obviously caught a few fish where we needed to. We've carried 1 blank over the 2 days, which I think was a real achievement, to be honest. Like I said, we've definitely had 2 or 3 really good draws. I've no doubt about that in my mind. You know, good areas where you were always going to catch a few fish anyway. But that's fishing, I'm afraid. So you know, it's nice that we're getting a little bit of a rub at the green at the moment. Anyway, absolutely delighted, really pleased. Not a lot going on for me over the next few weekends. We've got a couple of big fishing shows coming up: the Northern Fishing Show and the Big One Fishing Show. I'm going to be going and doing odd bits during the week, so I'll probably do a couple of vlogs over the next 3 weeks. Keep you updated with changing weather conditions, how I'd look to approach it coming up at the weekend, and things like that, because as you well know, it's gone milder, the fish are on the move. Let's make sure we give them some bait the next few weekends, because I think they're definitely going to be looking to have a bit of a feed, so keep that in mind. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Cheers, bye.